Hello, guys. Um, I'm back home where I'd gone to the Matthew guy's office at about 1:45, and there was acting sergeant who came by, I think Paul Jones or something, and he said that these actions of mine, unless they fit into the four categories, are unlawful. Even standing outside my local MP's house is unlawful. I said I'm not breaking the laws. I will go home and I will raise this concern about these lockdowns and these unlawful actions on social media. I'm hoping that Monica will come by shortly and we'll have a proper interview where I'll introduce the bigger picture to Australia. At this point, I think, by the way, after that 10-15-minute conversation with a lot of policemen actually outside the Matthew guy's office, then two of them came over to my house, including the acting sergeant and somebody else, basically saying I should give an undertaking that I will not be asking people to break the laws. I'm absolutely clear about this. I told him very clearly that there will be a stage if things don't get back to normal. If, for example, these unlawful actions of the government are not stopped, there will be a stage when I will be organizing collectively with thousands of people a civil disobedience movement in which I would like everyone to be arrested, including me. That will be part of the political process, of course, in a democracy. We will come to that stage where I will be making a very, very clear announcement about the civil disobedience, and that's going to happen in the next whenever period of time. If these guys, the politicians, don't, start following the laws, because I explained to him at length. I was very fortunate that we had a very good chat. Really, good man. I always admire the police. I love the police and the defense. I'm absolutely in support of all the police and defense, and would never have anything go against them. So this is where I explained to the policeman that look, he should do his job, but he should be aware that the stage has passed. He should be aware that these laws are unlawful. These lockdowns are unlawful. They breach the imprisonment of Australia for 1 year is unlawful. It breaches international laws. I explained that he should write a report about my explanation that this is all unlawful. My complaint to the International Criminal Court, my letter to the Director General of the ASIO about China's role in creating the panic hysteria, and Dan Andrews being part of the China plant in Australia. I said I'm happy to have a formal interview with the police in Victoria, where I will explain to them what I know. And by the way, I've said the same thing to the Director General of the ASIO, so I'm actually repeating that again. I asked him to assure me that he will report my concerns to his bosses. And if the police in Victoria determine, and they should spend some prosecutorial and legal resources, first of all, have an interview with me. I'll explain my case. They can then decide whether this is lawful or unlawful. And if they find it's unlawful, I would ask the Victoria Police to stop following these illegal orders. I explained to him how in India I resigned a very senior job because my chief minister, which is the premier, was giving me an illegal order. And I quit that job and went to another role. And later I resigned from a very permanent civil service role because I refused to obey illegal orders. Okay, now, obeying illegal orders is a part of the democratic process. The civil servant, including the police, are not here to implement illegal orders. When I was a civil servant in India and also a civil servant in Victoria, my job was to ensure that the law is followed. And as I raised my concerns in the Fin Review, and I raised my concerns on the television and Sky News, I explained clearly why the laws were broken in Victoria during this pandemic. When the laws are broken, then it is the job of the civil servant, who is also a citizen. He's the fifth pillar of society. It is his job to raise his concerns. And if the concerns are not listened to, which is what happened in my case, then he must raise them publicly. And in my case, I then resigned because they wouldn't let me raise my concerns publicly. So I would ask the Victoria Police. They're doing a good job. I love Victoria Police. I've told them that, in fact, I had a very good personal relationship with the head of the HR of the Victoria Police not many years ago. I was in close touch with very senior people in the Victoria Police, including their, number 2 in command, who would come into the meetings of the DWCRG, the Deputy Secretary's Working Group on OHS that I had convened. So I was very much in touch with senior officials of Victoria Police. So I have no problems with Victoria Police as such, but I want them to be able to distinguish legal orders from illegal orders. I believe all these lockdowns and these excessive things like quarantines are completely illegal, unlawful, and that they should therefore investigate them. I'm happy to provide them evidence from my side. And as I explained to them, I'm asking everyone, and I will continue to ask everyone to follow the law. Don't break the laws, please, because a civilized society cannot function if people break the laws. I would like the laws to be broken. Sorry, I would like the laws to be broken, but in a very well-planned manner. At a time when there will be 10,000 people on the streets and all over Victoria, and the police of Victoria will be forced to arrest all of us, and obviously they have to, feed us and look after us while we're inside the jail. And at that stage, we will make a political impact across the entire world, where we'll be showing that Scott Morrison and Dan Andrews are the dictators of Australia. They are absolutely criminal in their coercive powers, the use of coercive power against their own citizens. They have made Australia into China, and I think if we don't rise up, there'll be a real problem here for ourselves, for our children, for our grandchildren. We need to get back to freedom, but we'll do that in a proper systematic manner, guys. Please make sure that you follow the laws. Do not break the laws. If they say leave because you're breaking whatever, 4 rules allowed or something, just leave, just go. Doesn't matter. These guys can't stop us because, and by the way, we have to educate the police. Our problem is that our police have been just obeying the laws, obeying the orders. The police need to be asked to actually use their brain. I actually believe that police are very intelligent people, extraordinarily intelligent people. It takes a lot of intelligence to detect crime and so on. To be a detective, for example, like a Sherlock Holmes, you can't be an ordinary guy. No, use your brain to actually look at the nature of these laws and look at how it was started by China. And if you do that, you will realize, Victoria Police officials who are listening by any chance, hopefully they will, because now it looks like the Victoria Police have found me out somehow. They won't, let me even go and talk in front of Matthew Guy. So they made me political guy automatically. The very fact that they drove me out is now going to be raised across the entire world. The whole world will know, because that's how Gandhi changed India. By doing civil disobedience, the whole world came to know about the atrocities of the British on Indians. And that's how the world supported Gandhi, and that's how the British had to leave. Likewise, I think by driving me out of my simple act of going and giving a small talk, in fact, I was going to make a selfie. I had just gone to make a selfie. I make a selfie of myself talking in front of Matthew Guy's office and, raise my concerns, whatever. And guess what? These guys have driven me out. The police have driven me out. Never in my life. I have actually been the officer who commanded a hell of a lot of police in India. Very, very senior officer in India. And I had so many police officers running around me. I was guarded by the police. I was like, police is something that, has always been next to me. And my father was in the army. So I'm now, next Army Defense Services. So he was providing accounting services and very close to the army. So I've lived an army life in India. I've lived a police, with the police very closely. I've never had the police ask me to leave anywhere. I've always followed the law. I've followed the law even today, but I've also told the police very politely. I respect them at all times. I do not, by the way, respect any policeman who brutalizes our Victorian citizens. I have raised my voice about that. I don't like them beating up people with a car and bashing them and sending them to ICU. Even if somebody is, maybe a bit aggressive, please do not beat them up. Try to use some sensible reasoning, etc., because these are our people who've been forced under a very totalitarian regime by Scott Morrison and Dan Andrews to actually become aggravated. A lot of people have been very aggravated. They are at least expressing themselves. Many of people are getting so depressed. There's always the continuous reports of people feeling suicidal. Would you want that to happen, police? That your actions cause Victorian young people to commit suicide? No. So please look after yourself first as a policeman, but then please make sure that you're following the law, and please mind my voice. I'm a man of integrity. I will never speak the falsehood. Under any circumstance, I will never tell lies. So please listen to what I'm saying, because I'm giving you the truth, And the truth is that these are unlawful actions of the Morrison government and the Dan Andrews government, and the fact that they're not listening at all. But now you're actually potentially forcing me to take this further. Now, by the way, this is not against Victoria Police, so let me again get back, and I'll be doing a separate recording, hopefully today, about the political action that is necessary. And by the way, all that stuff will also include civil disobedience, and not one, but maybe spades of civil disobedience, mass arrests across the whole country. Absolutely a do or die situation. We will not let Australia become China. I do not want my children, my grandchildren to be living in this situation. I don't have a grandchild, by the way. I wish I had one, but hopefully there'll be one someday. But either way, that's a theory. Everybody has a child and they have a grandchild and so on and so forth. I brought my family to Australia. We were driven away, by the way, from Pakistan by the British intrusion into India and the partition. So we were forced to then go and find place in India. From there, my family got driven away all over the world. Half of it is settled in USA, some in England, and I'm here. So yeah, our family got really scattered, but a lot of people are still in India. Nevertheless, I would like to stay in Australia. I'm a citizen here now. I want to do a lot of work for India as well. But please, guys, that's all I had to say. That unfortunately, I couldn't give the speech in front of Matthew Guy's office. Apparently, that's unlawful. And a lot of policemen were there. Amazing. I was, I just put out a little tweet on the thing yesterday that I'll actually come and talk. I didn't realize that there will be so much information that the way it spreads. But that's good, because it means that what I'm saying here is spreading, and the police are listening. And I think all of us need to come together, because all we're asking for them is to follow the laws. All right, guys, that's about it. I'm a bit tired now. It's a hot day, and I'll hopefully do a different recording a bit later. All right, guys, thank you very much.